I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my
Good
business
afternoon, and welcome to the show, to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. Gilbert's on his way. He's caught in our lovely Los Angeles traffic, as many of us are, and especially right now during the Christmas holidays. It's pretty intense out there. So welcome to the show. Are you guys out there doing your Christmas shopping and having fun with the people and the cars and the sales? And I'm still trying to get past the fact that every time I go into a store, there's something that I like. So I'm still having a little difficulty shopping for other people right at the present moment. So, but I got to get it together because we're only a couple weeks out. And but I don't have too many more gifts to buy. Hey, Everett, how are you? So some great things this week. Let's see what's going on. I went to the GLAC, the Greater Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce holiday party. It was a lot of fun, a lot of people. They had a full, actually, I think the house was packed. They did a toy drive for the Union Rescue Mission, and they had a lot of fantastic toys, and it really went well. And so a lot of good friends. Everett, you were there. How's your cold? Hope it's doing well. So that's on Facebook Live. And you can catch us if you are on Facebook Live. You can go to morrismedialive.com and get us streaming in real time. So what else happened? Oh, Recycle Black Dollars. We had our breakfast mixer this week. It was really pretty fantastic. We, too, did a toy drive for the children of the Union Rescue Mission. You know, the holiday season is about us really sharing and loving other people, not necessarily about the whole shopping thing. The season is about giving and caring, and right now in this new world order that we're living in, that's very important. So we need to do that. So if you guys haven't done that, then make sure you volunteer some of your time, buy a gift for a child, donate some clothes. There are a number of organizations that are actually collecting pajamas and slippers and things, blankets, because it's pretty cold out there, and our population that needs our help and needs our support, they need you. So go out and support that. And also, there's a lot of women's groups with children. Help them out. That's the reason for this season, guys. So today, I had a client today. A customer, actually, now that will be a client, a tech guy that runs a technology shop over on Crenshaw, and I was teaching him how to do QuickBooks, and he was by far the best client that I've ever had, the best business owner that I've ever had, that I had to teach the QuickBooks to, because he was very tech oriented and he got everything. I could just sail through it. It was fantastic. But what he does have, and he's going to call in a few minutes, so I guess I want you guys to really hear this. He has, hey David, he has a technology that he has created. It changes the game in home entertainment. It is called, now everyone's probably heard of Cloud TV. It really helps you cut the cable bill totally out. And unlike the Amazon Fire and some of the other devices that I've seen, this one is pretty darn awesome, guys. The company is and it is called Cloud TV. You can watch everything that streams online. You can actually watch it on this box. He has two boxes, one that is a smaller version, and then he has one that is a larger version. And the larger version is at a higher speed, higher rate speed, and I guess more storage. So that one is $250, and the smaller one is $150. But what he showed me was there are movies that you can see that are actually in the theaters right now. The only thing that you can't see is OWN, because it doesn't stream, he told me, and also BET. But other than that, it's absolutely fantastic. So you guys might want to check him out. He is at 5348 Crenshaw Boulevard, and that's in Los Angeles. Right there on the Strip is a Black-owned business, and you know how I am about the Black-owned businesses, and he really needs your support. But on top of that, he does computer repair, and he's very knowledgeable, very smart. I was like impressed. As I said, I teach QuickBooks to all levels, but generally when it comes to teaching QuickBooks to business owners, that is a task all by itself. But all I had to do was just point him. It was like, okay, go do that. He goes, oh yeah, I got that. Go do that. And he got that. So it's like, wow, man, you're really pretty cool. So, but other than that, and in addition to that, he has this amazing, it is Cloud TV. So go check him out. His name is Larry Brochard. He's going to call in a few minutes. He's going to have a holiday package that he's going to offer to our listeners today, and as long as they mention the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. So what else is going on? So we had our breakfast mixer, Recycling Black Dollars. Who did we have? We had Captain Davenport from the Southwest Division. He came out to talk about small business and crime and how you need to handle that. And he also talked about there were some questions that were asked about some of the situations going on in the city. So he offered us some information on that, some insider information. He said also they're looking for volunteers from the community to come in so we can kind of create a community liaison of community policing, and wanted you to come in and kind of get to know them and they get to know you, and you can be involved and have your input. So again, it's always great to be at the table where the decisions are made, so you'll know what's going on and you can act accordingly. Okay, so that was fantastic. And then we had our wonderful T.S. Wilson. She was on the show not long ago, and she did this incredible poem for Muhammad Nasruddin, the founder of Recycling Black Dollars. And she did a thing on recycling black dollars, not Muhammad, and that was really great. So that's up on our Facebook page, our Recycling Black Dollars Facebook page. What else is going on out here? Oh, our very own Eric Holly. He was on the show about a month or so ago. He is the president of the Chamber of Commerce, Inglewood Chamber of Commerce, and now he has just gotten an appointment to the South Bay Chamber of Commerce. So that's pretty cool. We're really proud of him. Got some, I'm trying to see what else is going on. We have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous guest today. You guys are going to be in for a treat. This woman, I don't think she's a triple threat. I think she's like, I don't know what, an octagon threat. She is talented from all sides. So I am looking forward to you guys meeting her. So in a short period of time, we're going to introduce her. Oh, the other great thing that happened this week. On Sunday, I was honored at the Holiday Magic. And the Holiday Magic that is hosted and founded is a signature product of Barbara Lindsay, who also was the founder of the Black Expo. Oh my God, did I have a fantastic time. It was really great to be honored. 8 of the 7 other amazing women were on stage with me, and they just made us feel so special. Everyone looked so beautiful in their red dresses, and I had the hot shoes. You guys saw my hot shoes on Facebook. Oh, they felt great as well as looked great, so that was really pretty cool. So I need another holiday party so I can wear the hot red shoes. And we had a fashion show with the Wilborn sisters. Oh, wow. Those women just turned it out. Those shoes were, the dresses were fabulous. Carol Wilborn, she does some amazing things with wrapped with dresses that have multiple functions. And all these functions, the dress, you could put a jacket on and then flip it and it would be a shawl, and you twist it here and you pull the pants down and you had a dress. It was just like you could be in 9 outfits with one outfit, and by the end of the day, you could have changed 9 times. It was awesome. And so our guest today, she was the MC and she was fabulous. So it was just an all-time great time hanging out with my real close women friends and my uncle. He came and he was so proud, and I was so proud of him being there. My sister spent a lot of time crying off and on, laughing, crying, because she was just so overwhelmed with the whole thing. So we had a really, really good time. So what else we're going to do here? So you guys should have shown up. So next year at the Holiday Magic, you need to come on out and check us out, because we had some fun. And Rita is going to tell us all about it. That's who our guest is. So anything else? I'm waiting for Gilbert to come in. So we're going to, let's see if anything else has gone on in the city. Went to a great meeting, or was on a great conference call talking about money and making some changes to the SBA process of acquiring a loan for the African American community. So that was kind of cool. There's some great things coming on for us in the future. We're also getting ready for our next roundtable event with the Black Voices. Again, a fund that's being set up, and we're raising $15 million for African American business owners so that we have our own capital fund and we don't have to go begging anywhere else, because I'm not with that begging thing. I'm about done with that. So so we have to take care of our own, do our own thing, be economically sound, and with the collaboration with all our organizations and all our people. It is time for us to unite. I think that's been pretty evident and pretty obvious based upon what has happened in the new administration that's going to be taking over the White House, and which has got its issues. But here's my take on it. If President-elect Trump is going to take off all hindrances, all challenges, it's not just going to be for him, it's going to be for us too. So we need to get prepared so that we can take advantage of that. So we want to get ourselves together. We want to get our businesses together. We want to be there. We want to buy property. We want to do international business. We just want to if he going to take it by storm, we're going to take it by storm too. So that's what we're working on. So we're going to take a quick break because we got everybody here. Everybody's hands on deck, all men on deck. So we're going to take a quick break.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Welcome back. So my co-host is here.
Hey. Hey, entrepreneurs.
How was the freeway?
Oh, man, it's awful out there. When it comes to Friday in LA, it's just unbelievable out there. So,
Yeah, I think that's every day.
I could leave an hour early and I could get here late. I could leave 30 minutes early and I could get here on time. I don't understand it.
There is no rhyme or reason. Used to be rhyme or reasons to this stuff. There's no rhyme or reason.
I don't get it at all.
It just kind of happens on its own. Crazy drivers, non-drivers, all these people on the road together, and then too many people.
We got to repatriate them back to where they came from.
There was something I saw.
Crazy drivers.
There was something I saw. I want to say is in China. You're on the freeway and it looks like a big bus comes and hovers over you, and then it just takes, I guess, with the flow of the draft, it just picks everybody up and take them on. Yeah.
That sounds like some Jetson stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, some Jetson stuff.
I guess, man, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that at all.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So let's see. What else you do this week?
Oh, man, what did I do this week? What did I do? I didn't teach any workshops this week. But I met with a few clients, and as a matter of fact, I went to this outreach event, Crystal, at the DoubleTree Hotel, put on by Hill International.
Okay.
And they are a prime contractor for Metro.
Okay.
So Metro is launching this project. It's a project management contract, and the bid due date is January 5th.
Okay.
And Hill is teaming up with some other subcontractors. So they're trying to bring in all these subs. So we went there, and apparently they love what I bring to the table because of what I've done in the past, working with Metro, LA Unified School District, LA Community College District, the whole 9 yards. So they love what I'm doing for small business. So we don't know. Maybe I'll be on their team. We'll see.
Okay,
fantastic. So I put together my capability statement, as you know, along with a summary SOQ, Statement of Qualifications.
Okay.
So I sent that to them. So we'll see. We're
good.
talking $100 million right here.
Oh, that's a good contract.
All I want is $1 million.
Yeah.
Okay?
You won't be greedy. You want the whole million.
All I want is a whole million.
You want a whole million. Well, that's fantastic. I went to the Black Holiday Party.
Oh, yeah. How did it go?
That was fun. We had a really good time. It was packed. That was the first time I've seen it with that many people. Is that the new hotel or the new revised hotel, the LA hotel down? Used to be the Sheraton, I think.
Yes.
Really beautiful hotel.
That place is getting a lot of traction right now.
Yeah, I think that's the new let's go spend our money outside of our community banquet hall.
Yep.
But it was nice. So they had a good turnout. They did a toy drive and saw a lot of people.
A lot of movers and shakers.
The regular people is in LA. So
did you have a theme song when you walked in?
Yeah, I do, huh? Yeah, actually from the front door all the way to the back door.
We still want to hear your theme song. I know our guest today has a special theme song.
Yeah, she has a theme song. Actually, my theme song this year was Living My Life Like It's Golden.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Well, my theme song, it's supposed to be our theme song. It's what is it called again?
You didn't forget our theme song?
Yeah. Felicia, did you play our theme song today?
Yeah.
Okay. That's there we go. Oh yeah. I'm a businessman. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, because you missed it because you were out there on the highways and the byways.
That's our theme song.
Yeah, that's our theme song.
I'm a businessman, but I'm an entrepreneur.
So does it sound familiar to you, Rita?
Oh, well, I'm loving it as I'm experiencing it. Overcome with joy right now.
That's how we roll.
There you go. I got to get some autographs.
That's how we roll on the Business Zone.
On the Business Zone. Well, we are really, really, really honored and blessed to have this amazing lady that's in this house here today, guys. We are just really blessed.
Man, we saw her in action on Sunday, Felicia. I've never seen her in action before. The first time I've seen her, she controlled the room, okay? She was running that thing. You should have heard her. Man, you know.
Go hard or go home, okay?
During the break, I'm going to try to play some of her videos and see if we can capture the essence.
Yeah, she was good. I actually had the honor to meet her as soon as I hit the door. She had on an amazing purple iridescent kind of shoes thing going on, and her purple jacket, and we just were drawn to each other. And
she is phenomenal.
She is. We have Jazzy Rita Shelby in the house today.
Hey.
A lady that is extremely talented.
Yes.
Got many jobs, man. Many jobs, man.
She more of a Jamaican than he
That's
is.
what I'm talking about.
True, man. Many jobs.
See, I got 15 jobs. She got 25.
Oh, you only have 15 jobs. You're lazy, man.
Yes. So Miss Shelby is an actress, an entertainer, a media professional. She's a former contractor for Department of Defense, which totally doesn't fit.
That's
but
right.
Okay. Where she hosted and produced the Rita Shelby Show for Armed Forces radio and TV services from 1990 to 1997. Her spirited radio show was heard in 57 countries, and she was cited by CNN doing the Desert Storm. Rita has several projects in development. Her TV film credits include The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Sweet Life of Zach, Cody Martin, The Wizard of Waverly Place, Kings of the Evening, and Urban Classic South Central. She's a writer, content creator. She's a motivational speaker. She just wears a whole lot of hats.
She's more Jamaican than I am.
She is more Jamaican. So it doesn't even, this paper doesn't even do it.
It doesn't do justice.
So we're going to let her tell us about her. So welcome.
Thank to the show.
Thank you so much. That was great. I just laughed up all of that. That is so good. We need the positive vibes because I've been pontificating on social media about the elections season, about y'all's elected president.
Not mine.
Anyway, in all sincerity, though, I am truly a reflection of all of you. And I want to take a moment coming into this house and say to our viewing and listening audience how what a profound and surreal experience it is to be here in the house built and created by the visionary Felicia Morris.
That's right. That's what we're talking about.
Yes, and I was shepherded and mentored by her father.
Oh, wow.
Johnny Morris, a legendary radio broadcaster and engineer. And actually, her father and my very first general manager I worked for at WDIA Radio were trailblazers in the radio industry back in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. So I have to start where credit is due. Thank you. God and my mama and everybody. But Mr. Johnny Morris, and I'm happy to be here and see your beautiful daughter living out her dream and her legacy at Morris Media Studios. So I just want to start
Much respect.
And even the history for Felicia, the founder of Recycling Black Dollars. He was Muhammad's producer. They were at KTYM, and that was his first. When he did the radio show for Recycling Black Dollars. So we family, man.
I remember. When Felicia and I were kids, pretty much, and Mr. Nazardine and Kitty Davis would come to the legendary KGFJ studios. I think I was a board op back then. So it's just great to see this legacy alive. And yes, there's many things that I do, and I haven't always kept track of them. I haven't always been looking for credit or, adulation from them. But in today's world, in today's marketplace, I'm now seeing that really none of it was by accident.
Right.
And so now I'm shaping a new business picture for myself, which is fun and cool, but I'm getting great joy in showing other people how to do it for themselves, because we've always been innovative.
Yes.
For sure. And unfortunately, history hasn't kept record of all that we've been able to do. Yes, some of us sing and some of us dance and some play ball and some cook good sweet potato pies.
Right.
That's great, you
Right.
know. But really, we've been multifaceted. So I've been groomed now that I'm looking at it by legendary business people all of my life. When I was a teen in Washington, D.C., I went to Rabault Junior High School, and in junior high, I was a member of what's called the FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America. But it was no big deal. You know, it wasn't
Right.
like, you know, my family was walking around, yes, well, you know, she's a member. It wasn't anything like that. And then it goes even further with my mom and my grandmother and her aunt, my aunts and uncles and whoever was going around knocking on black people's doors, telling them that you can't and you
Right.
want and you're less than.
Right.
They missed our house.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
That's good though.
Never.
You know why they missed it?
What?
Because there's no number on it. They miss it.
So I was never shaped with the consciousness of can't.
Yeah.
I was shaped with the consciousness of I can.
Right.
And so that brings me to the thing I'm celebrating most today, which is my new book, being the brand beside the brand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. This is it right here.
Yeah, whoop,
The
whoop.
brand beside the brand.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually started reading some of it. Really good stuff. We've had a couple of people that I have like 5 books that I'm writing all up in it, and each one brings something new to the table. So when I'm coaching, it's just I'm picking. This is just the fruit. It's just fruit, just low hanging fruit
That's
for me right now.
Now, Crystal, we need to
you,
touch up
thank
our
you.
brand a little bit, right? So, hey, we're going to be looking out to you to help us touch this brand.
Okay. Well, you know, I've survived for 30 years now in Los Angeles. I've been my own boss. There have been times when I was actively seeking work. And one of the things I talk about in my book is that, you know, a decade or 2 decades ago, the ways in which you acquired either work, employment, customers, contracts, or whatever, the temperament of the marketplace was different.
Right.
So there were a lot of luxuries that you were able to experience, such
Right.
as, you know, back in the day, if you were out of a job or looking for a contract, you would have an encounter with someone or call somebody you already knew. They'd make a call in a minute. You'd be having a meeting with somebody, and the beat would go on.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, back in the later part of the 90s, early 2000s, things shifted
Yeah.
for many, 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 many people. And so now that mindset, that state of mind, we've got to basically turn it up.
Right.
This book is about showing people now how to come from behind all which they've done and stand beside it.
Right.
You know, back in the day, oh yeah, it's to stand behind my company. My company stands behind me. I stand behind my product. It is 2016. We're
Yeah.
going into a new administration. You cannot afford to stand behind anything
Anything.
or anybody else.
Yes.
So I speak to those people, in particular, those employees or even those business people. And I understand everybody doesn't have a big and bold, you know, personality. I talk about it in the book. Like, you know, I'm having a good time today, but I was never one to go in throwing my resume around or I did this or that. So it's a difference. This is not just being arrogant or braggadocious.
Yeah.
This is about forthrightly and sincerely representing all that you are and who you are, as well as what you do and what you're selling.
Exactly. And that passion, because you can feel that passion. Today I was with a new client, and when I came in, he was all gruffy. He was all a little gruffy. I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. And and I was teaching him QuickBooks, which a lot of times there's a problem because someone else have come forward that haven't completed or stayed with the project or did what they said they were supposed to do. So sometimes I'm coming into that environment.
Right.
So I was coming into that environment. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to do this a little bit different. So, of course, you know, I don't just come to the table to teach you QuickBooks. I got a whole arsenal of tools in my bag. And so when I start pulling out tools and showing them around and getting them set up, and he actually, as I was saying earlier, he actually he's very techie. He's a tech. That's what he does for a living, is a computer repair.
Ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros. So once we were talking on the same language, language. And he's like, oh, okay. And all I had to do was go like this. Go over here, do this. Go over here, do this. I didn't have to go through the whole concept of it. Somewhere in there, he says, you do know what you're doing, don't you? I said, yeah, I do. And so then it settled down. The ice broke down. And so knowing who you are and what your brand is and what you bring to the table is very important to the success of your business.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm doing a workshop on January the 14th, and it's the Brand New Year, Brand New You workshop. Mm-hmm. It's an intimate environment. The invitation has not been put out to the general public yet.
Okay.
It's by invitation only, but anybody in the listening or viewing audience today, if you email me, book me at LaritaShelby.com, book me at LaritaShelby.com. I will send you a link to this workshop. It is very affordable, and I am also excited, because I haven't just been high up on the mountaintop. You go to some seminars and they're throwing bells and whistles and fairy dust all in the air.
Right.
But I'm very transparent. It's the downs. Yeah. The failures, when you're sitting on the couch with tears and possibly some snot rolling down your nose, dodging the bill collectors and not answering the phone, looking at a pile of debt that may have been amassed by a mountain of faith, and you just knew that you were divinely inspired. God just, that God was talking to you about doing something, and then time has transpired. And it didn't manifest the way that you want.
Right.
And really going down deep and asking those questions, it is out of that I have this wealth of knowledge that I'm excited about sharing with people. And it's an authentic message. Yeah. It's not you come to my workshop, I tell you one thing, and that was 2.5 steps to give me $5,000 more.
Right, exactly.
I'm going to tell you the other few steps.
I give you step 3 and 4.
Right. And you've been at the workshop, yes, and for $25,000.
You're like,
and they got everybody signed up in the back with the whole credit card machine. And, and you're sitting there thinking, if I had $20,000, I wouldn't be sitting up in here today.
Right, exactly.
So this is it's an authentic message. You may be at step 1, and I can get you to 1.5, or I can get you to 2. You may be on level 2, and I can take you up to level 4. Yeah. And this is the irony of all this. I'm not selling wealth that I don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
That is a picture that's still in progress for me.
Yeah.
Right.
But a wealth of knowledge, because I have consulted millionaires. Matter of fact, it was the millionaires that were calling me for advice, and I'm like, okay, well, they could just call you. Okay, wait a minute. That's another one. Wait a minute. Let me figure this out.
Why is it not coming?
And so now I'm proud to have packaged what I know. I am proud to say it is a fact that I have found a way to monetize every one of my competencies.
That's fantastic.
And I have, a very good friend who's, in real estate, and, they go after big and wonderful deals. I'm like, that is very good. Yeah. But if I'm going to a department store, I don't need 5,000. Right. I don't need 50,000 on that day. I may need 100, 150, or 250. Right. Yeah. My God, I leave no money on the table so I can show you. And then there's some things that many of us, especially small businesses and entrepreneurs, there's one thing that we've all become guilty of inadvertently. I'm not going to tell you because it's in the
book.
It's in the book.
And you'll find out at the workshop. But every time I say it, there is an aha moment. And if I can bring you to that realization and have you to make that shift, then surely you're going to make a step and another step. There's something else that we all do, especially those of us who are, we're passionate about our culture and our people. And that's a very good thing. We should never, ever leave that.
Right.
But there's another component to that.
Right.
And if you come to the workshop,
you'll find out.
I will tell you that.
So let me ask you.
So, you should just give it all away.
Right. Now you got to get a little morsels. Come get the rest. That was just the appetizer. You got to go get the meal.
Right.
So which came first? The singing, the acting, the entertainment? Or I know you said you did the business program, but were you more of an entrepreneurial
You know what?
entertainer, or because not most of them are not.
Right. I think I did start by saying that I'm a reflection of all of you, and I've been blessed to have some strong towers around me. I came into this world knowing what I wanted to do and pretty much who I was because I'm my mother's legacy.
Okay.
And my mother was on WDIA radio back in the 50s before I was even born. She wanted to sing, and she had gospel groups. There were so many things that she wanted to do that this world did not allow her to do in the time that she was born in and in the skin that she was in. So I take credit for that. And so the business part, I think I probably used to go sell paper clips and rubber bands to my neighbors when I was 5. I think I did that.
You think
But the real deal, it set me on the business path was after I made my first movie here in Hollywood, South Central.
Okay.
And
did you know she was in South Central?
Yeah, I started in South Central. And so it was an urban classic, and I'm very, very proud. And yes, I was OG Bobby Johnson. The movie has stood the test of time because it had a great message.
Yeah, it did.
And so I was among a conscious group of actors and actresses.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that we were perfect or we walked on water, but we were not afraid to say no to just gratuitous stereotypes and just mindlessness. So shortly after I did that movie, I was deeply chagrined with the types of offers that came. And I remember going out to auditions and seeing all the pretty girls. I mean, they had everything shining and just,
popping
every single time. I remember going into auditions, and usually it was a bunch of drooling men sitting in there, and I'm thinking, if all of us are of equal status as actresses, they're looking for the flavor of the month. I may not be, the hottest chick to you. I came home and I remember praying. I says, God, make me a businesswoman. I'm not saying no to entertainment, but make me a businesswoman. And I'm looking at all of you out there, and shortly after that, I got my hands on Succeeding Against the Odds by, drum roll, John H. Johnson. That's right, the founder of Ebony Magazine and Jet Magazine. And I was so enamored at how this man overcame adversity, from a poor man, I believe in Arkansas, back in the 40s. And he started the Supreme Life Insurance Company. And one story that I learned from him, he walked into a white man's office and he said, well, I don't do business with niggers. And so Mr. Johnson stood there for a moment, having heard the insult, taking it in, and then he turned around and said to him, what if I can show you how it can make you money? How it can make you money and how it can make me money. Suddenly, the tone changed. And later, they became friends. So his courage, I'm not saying to just, let people get away with insults, even if you're the elected person and are meeting with people to show that you're cool with them. But if you can turn an enemy into someone that has to respect you now. And that's what I saw. Because Mr. Johnson at that time represented trust for people of color. And he sold them insurance. That man, as heinous and hateful as he was a businessman who he valued our money, but he did not value us as people. And through John H. Johnson, that happened. And so from that book, there was Succeeding Against the Odds, A Black Choice.
I love the Black Choice.
Napoleon Hill, love that one. And then the one, Reginald Lewis.
That's
Why
a great
should
one.
white guys have all the fun?
Oh
my gosh. So whatever it is, like I say, I'm still aiming high, high up on the financial platform. But the other thing that was happening is that I was thinking differently. Now, a lot of, I hope I don't get in trouble for this one. But I'll say it. I'll be politically correct. So, a lot of us, we have faith. And Sunday after Sunday, week after week, month after month, we go into faith-filled environments. And for all of the right reasons, that message of just faith, faith, faith. And some may say, faith without works is dead. Okay, we got that part. But many times when things fall short, sometimes we're admonished for not having enough faith or
Right.
not believing it. So, like I said, this book came out of asking the hard questions. Because when I was at my lowest, if anybody had told me I didn't have enough faith, because I got faith and candles and refrigerator magnets, and gee, won't he do it? And didn't he do it? And girl, he gonna do it. And I'm like, if anybody tell me that's why I'm doing how I'm doing right now, I'm gonna shoot him with a silly string gun.
Did you ever see Mary Jane? Was it Mary Jane with Gabrielle Union? She puts everywhere. There was sticky tapes.
Yes.
You are the greatest. You can do this. It's like all over her bed, all over the bedboard, all over the mirror.
So I was applying faith-based principles to hardcore business decisions.
Okay.
Hey, to the man.
See, the word also says, "For you perish for lack of knowledge."
Yes.
I did learn that from the great Fred Price. So I had to go deep on the knowledge. And I'm still learning, y'all. And I'm going to passionately share what I know about it. Book me at laritashelby.com because I know somebody didn't get it the first time. And it's
What was
portable.
that again?
It's
What's the
book
link again?
me
Okay.
at laritashelby.com so you
That's
can
right.
come to the brand new year, brand new you workshop. And as you see, we're going to laugh. We're going to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because people want the truth.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
You know, I'm tired of people. Oh yes, and hi there, and you're thinking, is anybody else other
Right.
than me who experienced this? We got to tell the truth.
And I think we're in that place now because with the new president, with the new administration,
elected president.
new
That's-
elected, I call it the administration. The new administration. There's all of it, right? But I think we have to be on our job because we kind of been sitting on the sidelines waiting for whatever. One of the reasons we launched the BusinessZone was because one of the things that I have found, and I've been in business for the last 29 years. And I stepped out on faith when I left my corporate financial planning job and went into what I'm doing. But, the knowledge, a lot of when I'm speaking with my clients, and I know Gilbert has the same, and you probably have in your coaching client as well, the lack of knowledge that we have when we have it at our fingertips is absolutely amazing to me. Every day I'm blown away by, you didn't know that? I mean, because it's very easy just to Google it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's what we do now before, I remember my very first business, when I wrote my business plan, I had to, not everyone, you guys know. My business plan, I had to contact the Census Bureau. I got packages like this. I had to go through those packages in order to get my demographics. Now you just go online and
That's there.
and it's there for you. So when people say, I don't have a business plan, why?
Well, you know, Crystal and Gilbert, here's what I find in all sincerity. Sometimes people don't know what they don't know.
That's
Right.
true.
And they don't know what they need to know. And most small businesses and entrepreneurs, and I learned a new word, solopreneurs,
Yes.
are just so inundated
Yes.
with the day-to-day operations. Now, I'm passionately sharing that which I know. And by the way, the book is free if you register for the workshop. Can I tell the price
Yes.
of the
Oh,
workshop?
yeah.
Is that
Oh,
right?
yeah. Sure.
Okay, so the standard rate is $75, but if you book as a result of hearing this show, is $50, and then the book is free. On its own, the book is $14.99. So what I was stating is that sometimes people we're talking to, you don't know that you don't know. You're overwhelmed trying to bake the next batch of cookies, get the next order out while taking your children to school or caring for your parents. And then before you know it, you're in a rut just managing the day
stuff, right.
And that's one of the reasons, too, that I'm doing what I'm doing to bring people into a safe, a fun environment where we can just keep it real. Because, I was blown away. One of my clients had run several businesses for many years and is quite a successful real estate developer. But he wanted to write a book in today's world. When he did it before, he had staff. He had staff in many cities and states. I'm like, hi, that's not happening now. And like, what do I do? He did not have a digital imprint. So I walked him through that. So another thing that I'm excited about doing, because we're just going to see, I'm test marketing this. But as I am going forth to lay out some of the things that need to be done, the exciting factor is that we can share our resources with qualified professionals who can help them. Because if this man says that, Metro is sitting on $100 million, unless we know what needs to be done. I'm in the information business. One of my other mentors in this life of mine has been Mr. Lee Bailey, who was he was really a trailblazer in syndicated programming. Now we call it content. And he was an early adopter on the internet for online content. I also work with EURweb.com and digital media. So, getting back to studying to show thyself approved. And one of the things that's going to get these business owners to what you're talking about is this. I talk about time and how we allocate our time. And unless that's readjusted, then it's just going to continue and continue and continue.
Exactly. And we're at a place. Last night I was at there's a lady. She has now proclaimed herself to be the newly elected mayor of South Central LA, Dr. Rosie Milligan. So Dr. Rosie called a town hall meeting last night. And she put everybody on blast. We will start working as one unit, and we're going to collaborate, and we're going to reach out. And she goes, and my mayorship, and she's serious, a heart attack. Dr. Rosie has her own radio show.
Is she elected, though?
She's
self-proclaimed.
She's self-proclaimed. In fact, they were handing around a flyer for us to sign. She goes, it don't matter whether y'all do that or not. I'm already the mayor of South Central LA. So she goes, and my boundaries are south as far as Imperial. West as far as La Brea, east as far as downtown, Central Avenue, down on that, and as south as Jefferson. She goes, that's my area, my boundaries. And so she was saying, and it was like, it was so funny because she's from the South. I think she's from Mississippi or Alabama, somewhere. She goes, and Miss what's the name around the corner on 43rd, she's losing her house. We need to make sure she doesn't. So I need some people that are handymen, and I need you to go over there and help her. And I need this person over here needs a roommate because she's losing, they can't afford the rent. So we need to make that happen. And she was just standing there. I was like, all right. We're like, okay, Mayor, Miss Mayor.
That is exactly what needs to happen.
Exactly, right.
The elected president, and that's just my way of saying it. That's the best
we feel you. We on the same page.
The other one I won't say on the radio show.
Elected president.
The elected president. Okay. So that many people find acceptable. So God bless all of them.
At least at the moment they do.
That is exactly the call to action that we need, being about our own communities. And so she has designated hers according to geography and zip code, but that is the mindset.
Yes.
Because if we believe, if you'll believe, if some of you all who drank the Kool-Aid actually believe that the people there that are going there in January care more than the ones who were there before, then that's a truth that I will, just bless you. I will bless you with the realities of the truth that you believe. But, I believe all of our ancestors used to say the strongest hands that you can count on are these two right here.
And that's what that was the premise. She says, no one's coming to save us. And she goes, we should be mad enough now to do something. She even said to me a couple weeks ago when she was on the show, she goes, I actually almost would like to see a white only sign out in front of a business, because maybe then you guys would go to the business next door that says you're black and you're welcome. And so she goes, so it actually would be a good idea, because that's how Wall Street came about, right? Black Wall Street was because we had no choice but to be independent.
Yeah.
And we need to be independent right now and not wait for. So she took command. She told us when our next meeting was going to be. Don't come back in here with no other. She says, you're here and committed, because you didn't sign the paper to say you're committed to the cause. And she goes, and don't come back in here next month with not bringing in 2-3 people with you. She says, we got to drag them kicking and screaming and making us connect and be responsible for each other.
That spirit. I love it. We're doing that in essence, but not as radical.
Yeah, she's pretty radical. Dr. Rosie's pretty radical.
We're doing that because we're going out in the community. We're looking at small businesses and entrepreneurs, and we're going, okay, there's a deficiency in this process that you're doing. This is a deficiency over here. Let's help you. This is what we're going to do. We're going to help you develop your capability statement. We're going to help you with bookkeeping. We're going to help you with your infrastructure. Oh, you're not certified? We're going to assist you with that too.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're doing,
Right.
but we're just not as radical.
Oh, she's radical. She's right. She was at the event on Sunday. When they said Dr. Rosie, all nonprofits see Dr. Rosie in the back. She was an African garb. She had on her African, it was black and gold.
I wish I had seen her. I
Yeah,
would have gone
Dr.
up and
Rosie.
said
Oh,
hi
she's
to
an
her.
actual. Dr. Rosie has been a icon in our community because she does get stuff done.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time when she won. They were doing an investment of some sort, and she went out and got the money. She called people. She's got a vast network. She's been on the radio. She has her. She made a statement years ago that black people don't read enough. And
That's true.
so
That is
she,
true.
the knowledge, right?
That is true.
So she then went and started writing books.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, okay, other black people have stories and they need to write them, and they can't find a publisher. So she has her own publishing company.
Amazing.
So now that's where she is at this point.
You said she was on the show?
No, she hasn't come on the show
Let's bring her on
yeah,
the show.
I was on her show. I was on her show last week.
Let's bring her
week
on the
before.
show because I think we should collaborate with her.
Oh yeah, she's a pretty powerhouse person. Barbara Lindsay and she are very, very close.
Yeah.
Yes, so we love you, Barbara Lindsay.
Yeah,
and
Barbara
Dr.
was even out last
Rosie.
night.
Yes, yes.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, she was. Barbara Lindsay is just an icon on her own. How long have you known? Were you part of the Black Expos when she was?
I was a radio kid back then.
Okay.
So yes, through my affiliation with KGFJ Radio, we supported and attended many of those. But I'm just really getting closer with her over the past couple of years, and I feel so honored to be in her midst. But again, our history, the truth of these strong towers has been there. Mm-hmm. And some of those matriarchs and patriarchs have just gotten a little comfortable. Yeah. And some of us in the middle, we've been living our lives. Yeah.
Right,
we've been doing our thing. Mm-hmm. But I am, in as much as I am, there are obvious frustrations with some of the turnout. Mm-hmm. And may I say, because don't write me anything negative, I have all due respect for the office. Mm-hmm. Of the president, the office of the sanctity, or at least the presumed sanctity of those offices and those who work in government. Right. But I'm also profoundly concerned about the tone and some of the messages that have led to civil unrest and civil disrespect. Yeah. So that only is what I'm speaking against. But I am also invigorated by the hundreds and thousands of Americans, and especially our millennials, who have said, we are absolutely fed up. We stand for a country of inclusion, of love, and of unity, and that is what we stand for. Right. Any suggestion of anything else, we are, vehemently opposed to.
Right, so. Exactly. And there are other people. I know last night I was watching, what is that show? And what do you have to say? What is it? It's the one where they put on a scenario, and so
what would you do?
What would you do? So last night it was about the Black Santa Claus. That actually, when they put it in the Mall of America, they went just nuts, right? Yeah. And so they did the "What Would You Do" last night, and they 2 little girls, one black, one one I think she was Middle Eastern, and her friend who was white was sitting there, and so Santa was sitting at a table, and the little white girl says, you're not Santa, because Santa's not black. And the little girl's like, yes, he is. And she goes, no, he's not. And so the people sitting around, which were pretty much all white. So one woman, she said, I'm sorry, you're wrong, sweetheart. Let me show you. And so her husband was black, had been playing Santa Claus all for like the last 20 years at the neighborhood recreational center. And she goes, see, right here, he's black. And the little girl went, what? Huh? And she goes, Santa is whatever color. He could be green, purple. And so their comments behind that was, what's going on in our country is really absurd. People are people, and we're human people. That's who we are, human beings. Just the outside coat is different, but we're all human beings. And so it's being addressed, and it's great that the media, the entertainment side of the media is actually making a stand, and some that are saying what needs to be said, because that's, the medium that sometime will be the only medium to reach people. Yes. The news media, they go up and down. 1 minute they're sane, rational journalists, and then the next minute you're like, where the heck did this kiss butt person come from? So you don't know. And people just blow you away. I was blown away this week with Jim Brown, because Jim Brown has been active in the community. He's been in, I think it's ICANN. What the heck?
Okay, but here's the truth. Okay, here's the
tell me the truth, because I'm like, what happened?
This is truly a wake up call.
Yes,
for all of us. No matter what side of it you stand upon, and this is what I've been forced to learn. You will find out who will stand up for you and who will sit down for you at the very same moment.
Yes.
Think about that, and so. There are those that say, wait, you insult my people? You insult people that I respect and I revere? We have no conversation. There is no public forum.
Right.
Until that is addressed. And then you have those who say, well, it's okay. It's no problem. And that's for Mr. Brown or anybody else.
Right.
You have it in family. So there are those, and lest we forget, for all that we saw during this campaign, there were millions of people who decided to give a pass on things that would be deal-breaking offenses for us.
Yes.
And may I say, many of us are intelligent enough to accept a loss because our person did not win.
Right.
They might not have been from our party, but there was a respect that we could grant that person as someone who would be respectful of all people at the very least, before we get to politics.
Right.
So it's a sensitive time. And again, what's a deal breaker for you? Some people, it's just not. And that's, bless them.
Yeah.
That's who they are. Yeah. And we'll see.
But it's a wake-up call. It's an eye-opener.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a quick break. Folks, Entrepreneur, we've got a very powerful show today. We're talking with our famous guest in the studio, Miss Rita Shelby, and she brings a wealth of resource and information to the table. So you're on the Business Zone. This is Gilbert and Crystal. I think we should say it the other way around. Crystal
and Gilbert.
And Gilbert.
Gilbert sometimes forgets where he is.
I forgot who I am. I call myself Crystal. So our phone number here is 323-293-3375. If you guys want to join the conversation, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. 323-293-3375. And you're on the Business Zone.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
So I'm going to have to share something with you, though.
Yes, you're back on the Business Zone. Crystal, along with
Gilbert.
and we're having a great time. Our special guest in the show and on the
Miss
show,
Jazzy Rita.
Miss Jazzy Rita Shelby.
Dumb.
And she's providing us some great information. I'm so inspired by her, and I just can't wait to hear what else she has to tell us on the show.
So before we do that, though, we're talking about Sunday, so I'm going to have to tell you.
Yes.
So my sister and I, and everybody that was at the table, and I was over at the Urban League yesterday, and I was sharing with Bonnie and Ken on what had gone on at the fashion show. And I said, I bet y'all think that Gilbert's all so conservative. Gilbert wasn't conservative when them girls was walking down the stage. He was losing his mind. So Ken's going to ask you about that.
Miss Loretta had me all woozy in a little whirlspin, so my conservativeness kind of went away.
I was, okay, for the benefit of you who are just tuning in, we're talking about Barbara Lindsay's Holiday Magic and Fashion Explosion.
Yes.
I was the commentator at the fashion show, and it's just everything resonates in my life. It's a big old circle. I advanced in life, in school, and broadcasting is because I would say what most people would not say.
Right, exactly.
So, like, I talked to the news director of my station when I was 14. I was like, you need a show where teenagers are speaking up for themselves. Because all these grown people talking about teenagers, so I had a show. So fast forward to the fashion show. I can't, okay, in case you're having a fashion show, I can give you...
She's good too, guys.
I can give you the hoity-toity. Our next model is wearing crystals from Von Cleef & Arpels. I can do that. However, I talk about the beauty of the fashion, the talent of the designers, but I also, kind of speak into the minds of the audience, because there's always that man at the fashion show who sees that gorgeous woman, but he can't say nothing because he's sitting next to his lovely wife who's maybe put on a couple more. Right. He just got to stand there So I say that and it makes them laugh. And it's the same for the ladies, too, who might be sitting there, and her honey ate the last donut and there's some guy like Adonis on the runway. So we have fun with it. So that's what we're talking about.
It was so much fun. And it was one of the models that was she just was in it. She was very good. And so Gilbert went, I gotta have that the dress. That's what I gotta have.
Because I told the audience there's three. I said, okay, here's the deal. This is not a commercial. This is just I don't plan it. It's whatever comes to my mind. It's okay. There's no cute clothes. There's no cute clothes in the fashion show.
No.
Cute clothes come off the rack.
Right,
them
exactly.
at the mall and the store. This is couture fashion. It's fabulous. You say that's fabulous. That's exquisite. That's mine. And I just made it clear. We're talking about the fashion. Claiming somebody else's man or woman.
So you interjected that. He was like, that's mine. That's mine. And at the table of all women, my uncle was there, but it was really a table full of all women, and we just fell out. It was hilarious.
We support one another. You know, let me just say there's a tone out there, and I'm looking. I'm not calling anybody out because I don't know who's watching, but have we heard, well, black people don't really support each other.
Right.
Anybody ever heard that? And like I said, the world I live in, there's lots of support. And if you're with people that's not supportive, then why are you with those people?
Yeah.
And why
Exactly.
are they with you?
That's
Right.
So keep on looking. Keep on. Like Dr. Rosie, she's one of many. She's just the only one that we know. So keep gravitating. And we touched on politics.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't get in trouble, but
No.
seek out those who will collaborate with you regardless of their color, their culture, or even their party affiliation. Throughout history, we have had people of diverse cultures who have worked together.
Yes.
A very little known fact, Harriet Tubman. She did not free a single slave all by herself.
No, she did not.
She had financiers who were white businessmen in New England. Lloyd Garrison and Thomas Garrett were very much opposed to how people of color were treated, and they supported her at her level of vision. They made sure that she had weapons, that she had food, that she had safe houses. So don't let the angst of what you see in today's climate allow you to draw your judgment based on color or affiliation alone, because somebody may look like you and be against you,
right? Exactly,
and maybe sitting at the enemy's table, and somebody who doesn't look anything like you may say, "How can I work with you? How can I support you?"
That is true.
In fact, that was interesting because when the movie when the show Underground came out, there was a lot of people like, "Oh, I don't want to see any more slave movies." But and I kept telling everyone, "No, go see this one because." This one is different. This one tells you and you have to look at the nuances and how they got the message across, because that's what we really need to do now is to get that message, because we of a culture, and they also say we don't have a culture, which we do, we know how to speak to one another, and there's a language that's unique to us. And it's across the board. I don't care where you come from. Your parent has a certain, when you were growing up and you speak to another friend, it's like, yeah, my mom said that. And my best friend is Cuban. And so same thing. She grew up she was born in Cuba, but they're Afro-Cubans. And so when I'm saying something about my mom, she goes, yeah, my mom said that. It was in Spanish and it was their dialect.
And that's the thing about culture, because you don't necessarily have to come from the same ethnicity or look the same way. It's just the things that we do, or the customs, because just like you're saying about your friend from Cuba, she says a lot of things which I'm sure Jamaicans have said. Yeah. I've gone to Panama, and while I was there, they were saying stuff that I'm going, that's what we say in Jamaica.
Right, exactly.
So that's a total Latino culture right there, but then it's similar.
It's similar.
And I'm sure Africans have some of the same things that
right,
we say.
Exactly. And when you look back, when you utilize the internet and you look back at some of the things that's going on in Africa, some of the kids, there's a couple of videos out there where kids are dancing and they're doing the twerk. Came from Africa, and it's been ingrained even in the Latino community, in salsa and the rumba and all that. Yeah. That's from our original culture. Yeah. So it got diverted and it mixed in, and which is fine. It made a beautiful blend. Yeah. But there's a culture there, and anywhere, whether you were raised on the East Coast or the West Coast, if you had parents from the South, you're raised the same exact way. Because you're from Tennessee, right, or Nashville?
Yeah, I was born in Nashville. My family's from Memphis, but they came from Athens, Georgia. I've never been there. Yeah. So three places really cultivated me. Of course, the roots were in Tennessee. And I grew up my middle school years. Elementary and junior high were in Washington, D.C. And that really shaped the woman that I am. Yeah. Because I grew up around conscious folks.
Yes.
And it was just the way that it was. Yeah. And then I went to high school back in Memphis, and I've been in Los Angeles for many, many years. I came out here to go to college.
Okay. My sister.
By the way, I want to put it out there, Crystal, that you're talking about Africans just now. I just want to put it out there to all our audience, our entrepreneurs out. Our listener base is primarily Africans. Just want to let you all know that more than about 59% of our listenership is either from Nigeria, Kenya, or South Africa, or any one of those African regions. So come on, entrepreneurs, give us some calls, give us some love, participate here, okay?
Yeah, a lot of
I've
the
been
Ivory
to
Coast.
Africa with some business people from here in America. I was blessed to travel to Nigeria and Ghana and London.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was a broadcaster for Armed Forces Radio, then I was blessed to go to Korea and Japan and Germany. And speaking of culture, because when I came to LA, I wasn't familiar with the term swap meet. But when I went to Korea and I visited Itaewon, that's where the original swap meets, the flea markets come from.
That's what they had, huh?
Yeah, it's Itaewon, and it's everything.
And it's huge.
It is huge. So there's so much about culture that translates, and we find those common bonds.
You know what's amazing, Larita? The swap meet, it started by us back in the day, the Africans, because we couldn't market our products, our produce. So we gathered in the town square, and we're talking centuries ago. We gathered in the town square, and this person will bring a goat, this person will bring some rice, this person will bring oil or whatever, and they exchange.
Yes.
That's the bartering system.
That's how the swap meet started, back in our day. Well, not my day.
That was the collaborative, they called it the cooperative economic ecosystem.
Yeah. You remember one of our guests that was here, he was telling us that, way back in the day, the Africans, they were entrepreneurs. They weren't just slaves. They were entrepreneurs, and that's how they marketed their products.
Well, if you go to Egypt, there's a marketplace. Actually, most of the Middle East, which is where we kind of originated anyway. Yeah. But they have the big marketplaces, and you come in and you see it. You see it in different parts of the South, New Orleans. Yeah. In the marketplace over where the Cafe Du Monde is, is in that area. My family. We're from Florence, Alabama, but my mom went to school in Nashville, and so did my uncle. They all went to Memphis State, and my family just recently relocated back there. So my aunt and my cousin, they just moved to Jackson. I was there last year.
Jackson,
Tennessee. Enterprising people there.
Yeah, very enterprising people. But we're enterprising. I came from a family of entrepreneurs. My grandmother, she lived to be 102. She was making quilts and selling them. My grandfather had a bakery. He was a caterer. He had a little grocery store, and he was a minister. That was
unbelievable. Now you know why she can't work for anyone. Because she got that entrepreneurial blood.
It's in the blood.
Yeah, that entrepreneurial blood.
Most of my family were, if they weren't nurses and they weren't teachers, which I got a little bit of all of that. Then the other half were entrepreneurs.
Unbelievable. How about your family?
Well, it's a combination. Yeah, my family, the thing that I most remember is that they were self-starters.
Okay.
And if there's anything that they set their mind to do, they do it. So primarily my family is in education and then some in law enforcement. I had a couple who advanced in government. And then my mother, of course, was very free-spirited. She did music, she did floral designs, but, she had a different type of a life. And she internalized some of the disappointments that she experienced very early on.
Yeah.
And, just came to a sad and desolate end before her time.
Okay.
The joy that I get that is encouraging is that as I continue to live and experience this life of mine, I believe that my mother was the dream deferred and I am indeed the dream realized.
Fantastic.
So it's up to me, to tell that story. And through my book and my workshop, the brand, beside the brand, I really want to do something different. Like right now, I'm motivated to put out a challenge. So if there is someone in the viewing audience who has some money to spend, maybe they want to buy a beautiful outfit, or maybe they want to be a blessing to somebody. They just want to just spend that money somewhere. Email me. I've got a list of designers. I know people who, if you could go to Barnes and Noble and buy something, and it would mean one thing.
Right.
But if you contacted somebody else who hasn't made it to the shelf, oh my gosh. Another friend of mine sells sexy hosiery. Oh my.
I saw that on, and I want to talk to you about that because I like
her
that on your website.
Is mylovablelegs.com.
Okay.
And she's a dear friend of mine, and she inspired me a lot in terms of marketing back when I was really trying to define this other person outside of the performance arena. And her website is mylovablelegs.com. And it's like, you know, in the world, you may just be one person, but to one person, you may be the world.
Right, exactly.
You know, so if that is on your heart, and you email me and I will meet you at that challenge. If it's a business person here in LA, I can tell you where they are, because I'm different. I've been up, I've been down. Okay, this isn't about you come and you give me all your money, I leave with a fat wallet, and you got to go sling my stuff
right
before you make a dime. This is about cultivating you, stimulating you, and connecting people. A very famous speaker had moved to LA a few years ago. Another millionaire, and was consulting with me about, you know, what can I do in LA? How can I get in this market? And I said, well, first of all, sir, you're in Los Angeles, so you're not stirring up dead people who don't know or believe that they can.
Right.
Anybody that's still in Los Angeles, they are connected to something.
Somebody.
They believe something. So just truly selling them on the fact that they can, you know, is maybe a missed mark here.
Right, exactly.
The secret to this market and this audience, I'm telling this because I don't want to just keep this to myself, is if you can bring the buyers and the sellers
together. Exactly.
Together. Yeah. So that's another thing that I want to be able to do with my workshops. And I truly trust the divine to bring the combination so that you might be sitting beside somebody that has just the thing that you need. Maybe you couldn't afford it on that day, but you can barter. Or it could be the person who has put together, maybe their corporate part is fine, but they may be like Gilbert. They may have a passion project.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And don't think that's important enough to want to pursue that passion part. Exactly, because that happens a lot. And I think it is about, you know, I do that. Speaking of my family, my
we got a call.
She thought I was texting on Facebook
Call
Live.
in.
Yeah, Amanda, call in at
so we can talk to you.
293-3375. So this is a true entrepreneur as well. She just moved she left Washington. She was a police officer in Baltimore, Maryland. And then she left and went to Covington, Georgia. So that's where she is right now. But that's some of the things that I do. Like today, when I met with the TV, it is TV Cloud. If you want to get rid of your cable for $150, you can watch anything on television that you want. So before I left his shop, I had turned him on.
Have you tried it?
No, I was just there today. He showed me that you click on HBO, you can see it. It's all set up in his shop, right on Crenshaw. He's at 5348 Crenshaw Boulevard.
TV Cloud.
He said the only thing that doesn't stream.
I think I've heard of this guy. You know who told me about him? Ken Hitz.
Yeah,
I think he's
that's his because he referred him to me, so that's how I did. Ken called me to help him because we're trying to get him to be at the business the fund. And then, but he needs financials. Yeah. So I went to train him, and then while I was there, I turned him on to Stephen Turner because he needs insurance, and then I turned him on to some other things, and then I told him. He says, and this is the other thing, and you're in content media and marketing, so I was asking him. I said, you know, people are always calling because that's what Recycling Black Dollars does. We're a resource and we have a resource guide. You call and ask for, you know, the planner, the plumber, the planter, the gardener, the land, whatever. I said, people are always calling me for a computer repair person. And you've been here 2 years and we didn't know you were here. And he says, but you can see me when you drive down Crenshaw.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. I said, Larry, what you don't understand is, like for me, my computer is my workhorse. So not everybody can be working on it because I cannot be guaranteed you're going to get it back to me when I need it. Yeah. So a computer repair person needs to be a word of mouth, completely consigned by somebody I know personally to say, yes, they're going to do a good job. Yeah. You're going to get it back in a manner. I said, you have to advertise. Yeah. So he says, He said to me, that costs money. Yeah. He said, but I don't understand. Can't they just see the sign as we're driving up and down the street? No, it doesn't work like that, Larry. I said, I tell you what.
Cost of doing business, Larry.
Right.
Yeah. Well, again, the market has changed. The fact that he's here and survived means that it has worked.
It has
used to work. Well, he wouldn't be here.
But we're new.
In today's market, that there has to be a shift because in today's market now you got this. There's so much more competition in anything.
In anything, exactly.
Right.
So I told him, I said, so I tell you what I'm going to do, Larry. I'm going to create you a quick little ad and I'm going to send it out. He said, I'm going to put it on Facebook. He says, but it doesn't get to everybody. I said, Larry, you don't know me. I said, I have a full, extensive network, and they happen to buy. And whenever I say it's something worthwhile for them to look into, they will look into it.
Does he know that when you go, you're the type of person who will go gorilla and things and make it happen? Does he know that?
No, he didn't know me.
He needs to know that because he doesn't know. He needs to know that.
And he doesn't know that I always walk out my door with my top 10, my top 10 people, my top 10 clients, my top 10 friends. Yes. And when I walk out and I'm networking, I'm networking for my top 10.
He needs to know that.
So, and also, these are great gifts.
Yes.
For the holidays. Why don't we give somebody a gift that has some longevity, some intention, some purpose?
Get results.
This is a gift of love because you're helping me redefine and reshape my life. So, Jazzy Rita's workshop is a perfect gift.
Yes,
a perfect gift. Wrap that up. And January 14th, you're done with the holidays. You done made some resolutions. Or
you might be off for the King holiday.
Yes. And possibly you made some resolutions. Hopefully they were more goal setting than resolutions. But if you did, this will help you follow through with it.
Perfect.
Yes. Now is truly, truly the time. We don't know what the days ahead will bring. And again, I go back to politically, the direction that our country is taking. We have no idea what we're going to see every night. So it is high time to fully invigorate who you are and what you do. I can help you kind of sort through it, prioritize, but it starts with what the mind shift is.
Right, exactly.
Where have your own resources been kind of seeping through the cracks? And again, I'm being very real with you. I've been an independent contractor for almost 30 years. It's really just, the bell is just ringing in my mind. This is a business. You are a business, Larita. This is what has helped you to sustain. So I'll tell you what's worked, what hasn't worked, what will never, ever, ever, ever work, that you must stop doing. Because sometimes you're overwhelmed with what you can't do.
Right.
That you don't see what you can do.
Right.
But then I just love all over you. I want to say that I love you for having the vision, for having the passion, even if it's a big old question mark.
Right.
Now, even if you are an employee and have been blessed to be a long-standing employee, there are things that you can do to even enhance where you are now, the people around you. And should we have people who are new to the marketplace? Because you got millennials and baby boomers working. There are some things that you should know about who you are and even marketing yourself within the environment that you are in. So I deal with that. And that comes from having consulted on major corporate campaigns that have come through my digital media partner, EURweb.com, a major corporation. I'll mention one. This lady is not with the company anymore, but it was a Verizon. There were certain things that they were representing at the community level. If I told you, you probably would have no idea.
Right.
Just lost under the cracks. And I said, if more people knew that you were supporting the community in this way, it could increase your client base.
Right.
Because we who are conscious, who believe in recycling the dollar, if we know you, if I don't know either one of you and you're selling the same product, then it's a coin toss.
Right.
But if I know something about you that endears you to me or a cause that I believe in.
Exactly.
So through being the brand beside the brand, these are some of the things that I deal with in the book and that we will explore in the workshop. It's 2 hours. It's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The location is a private location in Hollywood. Once you register, I will send you the link and it will give you the information. And it's just the authentic truth. If you want to register to lock in your space and get the book, you can do that. If something comes up and you can't make it, you have up until a certain time that you can cancel, get all your money back, or that same $50 can become an hour counseling session for you. And my counseling rates, are $75 and up per hour, so you won't go wrong. Some of my clients have included Dr. Logan H. Westbrooks. He's the author of The Anatomy of the Music Industry, a very successful businessman. One of my colleagues is Gerald Smith from 1+1 Management and Marketing right here in the community. And Gerald was the longtime marketer of Nix Check Cashing. Okay, Tom Nix, they're very, very good friends. Well, when Mr. Nix wrote his book about how he and his family founded Nick Yacht. Now, I know a lot of y'all know about Nick's Check Cashing. You're somebody special, right? When Mr. Nix wanted to tell his story, I was working closely with Gerald's company, and Gerald turned to me. And I was able to share some of the insights that I'd gathered from the hundreds of authors that have come through my journalism background. And as a result, you can go to YouTube right now. You can put in Tom Nix, and then there is his story. I produced that. I was the visionary for how we could extract this great life of service and not just, they're taking the people's money. Well, that's if you're misinformed. But that business survived. It was sold for, I think, $27 million several years ago. So that was another touch point. So this is what you're getting through just what I'm sharing in this book. And the beauty of it, again, is that I've lived and, crawled through it. Now I want to pour it back into you, and I'm genuinely excited about it.
That's the best way, because it's an experience, and so now it's firsthand. You personally have gone through it, and so you're sharing and giving them directions to avoid having to go through some of those same things, and they're going to do their own thing, but they're going to do something different. Gerald Smith, actually, he and I, it's amazing how close everybody is. 3 degrees of separation, as I said with Felicia. You didn't know, but when I sent something on Facebook about Larita being on the show, then I don't think I had put that first, because Felicia had said, I'm going to have you. We need to talk. You need to get on the show so we can promote your book. And then I went, and so I said, well, she's going to be on the show on Friday. And Felicia said, well, that's exactly who I was going to refer her to.
Small world, huh?
But Gerald Smith and I actually skied for the same ski club.
Nice.
And so he was the youth recreational director for the club, and I was the youth race director for he was recreational skiing and I was race directing. So we worked together under the same tutelage. So so it's a very small world.
Pillar of the community.
Yeah.
Now, Larita, before because we're running out of time here, and I want to grab as much as I can out of you.
Okay.
So I want you to tell us a little bit about the branding, how you help businesses to brand themselves, and advantages, disadvantages, techniques, strategies, and all that. And I also want you to tell us how you got into government contracting, because I'm still mystified by that. So whichever one you want to take on first.
Okay, I'll take the second part first.
Okay.
Gilbert. So I got into government contracting I worked for KGFJ Radio right out of college. Prior to college, I worked for WDIA Radio. And now, the thought is very, very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I'm very used to say beanie words or spirits. So even when I was at KGFJ Radio, I think I was working 6 days a week at that point. I was a morning drive. I had advanced to being the morning drive sidekick. So through a series of scenarios, situations, I was up for a movie, didn't get the movie, had already kind of resigned or gone on leave of absence from the radio station. Then the movie fell through, and I was like, can I still work here? And they were like, yeah, but in 3 weeks, we're going to let you go. So got laid off. I was just heartbroken. I was just, oh my goodness. Well, Louise Foster, who had also worked at KGFJ, called me and told me about Armed Forces Radio, which I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I think, they're looking for people. And so now, even though I enjoyed going to work for 6 days a week, I was like, God, this is cool. But, if I could work fewer days and make more money, that would be kind of cool. That was my thought.
Uh-huh.
And then one of the character voices that I used to do on KGFJ, I used to tease the morning guy, Tony Hart. I used to say, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to be entertaining the troops. That was just something that I said jokingly. Well, lo and behold, months later, I was
Careful what you say, huh?
entertaining the troops. At that particular time, Armed Forces Radio provided several radio programs for our troops stationed all over the world. And they were making an effort to provide culturally specific programming.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
And actually, we had a large percentage of those who were enlisted were African Americans, especially males, 18 to 25 years old. And I was in that age bracket back then. So it was important that they provided music entertainment, but they also had the country show.
Right.
They had, whatever the flavor was. So I applied, and I didn't even realize how major that was. But as a result, I was on the air in 57 countries for 7 years.
Wow.
And one of the things that I talk about in my book, because branding meant nothing to me then. I was happy to do what I did. I truly was. But just the idea of making a big deal of it here, it didn't occur to me. So in this country, I was on 150 stations on Lee Bailey's radio scope.
Oh, okay. I remember that.
But what nobody knew is that overseas, because I sat in the seat of, producer and host of my show along with Ron Jeffries, I was able to green light the short version of Radioscope as well as another segment called On the Phone with Tyrone on my show internationally. So every now and then a friend of mine will be like, Rita, I was in Spain and I thought I heard you on the radio. I was like, yeah, that was me. I was in Iceland. I think I heard you on the radio in Iceland. I'm like, yeah, that was me.
Wow.
But I was humble.
Okay.
And then one of my other mentors told me, yeah, but in show business, humble sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So that was the government contracting. And then the first question was
branding. How do you work with small businesses?
How do I
to help
work
them
with small
brand it?
business
Yeah, brand it.
with branding?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I kind of touched upon earlier, most small businesses and entrepreneurs are just focused on processes and procedures.
Yes, exactly.
Operations. So many times, in truth, when it comes to advertising, they either don't understand the importance of it, or they've experienced a marketplace that was different where they didn't have to, or like what happened with a certain. Well, I can say there's a Wingstop franchise here in Los Angeles, and when they were, adding to their franchises and had never advertised on the radio before locally. They're a small business, they're doing well, but this was a new environment for them. So I was able to show them how to maximize their budget and also provide some cultural information about, where they were placing their businesses and help them create that voice for them. So that's one part. That's one way. And the other is just strategic partnerships, showing them how to even I made up a word, bridge. I was like, build and bridge, to bridge business and community.
Ah, that's excellent. That's a good thing.
Yes,
That's a good thing. And I think because branding, it wasn't always branding. It was more advertising, marketing, and then it became branding. Where you focused on it, it became the word. The Kardashians is a brand, certain people, and even back in the day, Cher was a brand, but they never said that Cher was a brand, right? But she was, and certain other entertainers, Prince, and those are brands because of the way that they pulled carry themselves, and you remembered them by certain things, their colors or whatever. But so when did we start focusing on it as a brand?
In all honesty, I remember seeing the term for the first time in that context about 12 or 14 years ago. And I think it was an article on Michael Jordan. Okay. And so another something I want to throw into this. A couple of years ago, I went back and I got my master's in media and communication psychology.
Okay.
And so I studied global communication structures and global quote-unquote brands, and it caused me to have a shift in my psyche on it, and which is what I'm bringing here. So technology has created a different dynamic forever in the marketplace.
Okay.
Remember when social media came about, we thought it was a fad for the
right,
kids.
Exactly.
And then one by one, major corporations were participating in this environment. The reason now is that with one touch point, with one click, you are speaking to the world.
Right.
That is why we have to all think about who we are and what we do differently.
Right. Yeah.
It's not just the it or the thing. You figure into it.
Right, exactly.
And so what I said when I met you all, and I say to those that are watching, every one of you has been a part of somebody else's success story already.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And chances are you are not coalescing that with the thing. It's like, you're you, but I'm selling this.
Right.
You're you, but I'm doing that. So putting it all together was what creates an authentic and a unique connection with your intended client. Because again, if you're selling something, and the person beside you is selling something, and all they're talking about is the product, what the product can do, what the service can do, you haven't touched me in any way.
Right.
But
exactly.
if I know something about you that endears you to me and draws me to your product or your service, then we've made an authentic connection. And that's what being the brand beside the brand is all about.
And most people are buying you and not whatever you're selling, because whatever you're selling is probably someone else is selling the exact same product or service anyway. Yeah. But it's you. And in my early career, when I first started out as an entrepreneur, I never had to advertise. Everything was word of mouth. And unbeknownst to me, I was creating a brand at that time, and that was before Facebook and social media, period. It was, in fact, when I first started, came out from left corporate America, computers had just started becoming home items, and a lot of my friends and people didn't know how to use them because they knew what they had learned at work, which was very specific to work. So when they bought them at home, they didn't know how to use them. So that's how I was a consultant, and I would go in and teach you how to use a computer. And so as that, and then it evolved to other services, and I collected other services and tools and all that sort of stuff that I keep in my little toolbox. But I've been noticing over the last 2 years, definitely over this last year, I am getting phone calls from people that have been in my class 7 years ago. The very first class. I hadn't even been teaching I've been teaching one-on-one, but when I started my actual classes, I had 27 to 30 people in a room. Half the time I don't even remember who they were. But I'm getting calls. Raymond is one of those. Raymond is a young man that does social media and he builds apps. And he's like, oh yeah, Christo, he called me. He says, I want to talk to you about an app that I'm doing. You have Recycle Black Dollars. I was in your class 7 years ago. There's been like 5 people that are now part of my coaching business that at the time they remembered me. They referred me to somebody else. So that was the brand. And they kept remembering, I remember you said this. I remember you said this. And I remember you. And that's why I called you. Great. Not even knowing. And I think a lot of our businesses don't focus on not just the process, but why are you doing this? I know why I do my business. I'm sure you know why. What's your powerful why? Yes. And why you've evolved from where you were to now, because that powerful why was down in there and it just emerged up, and now is displaying itself. And so I think if businesses, entrepreneurs, that's the biggest thing about starting a business and being on your own and being in business is understanding why you do what you do.
Yes, that makes the difference. And one of the new people that I'm a fan of is a Simon Sinek, Start With Why. Mm-hmm. And a very, very powerful statement. So again, but the technology is what has caused for this shift. And this is a way to embrace it and to embrace it positively. Gilbert, can you show the cover? You'll see That's why I did it in the way that I did. And if you're not local and you can't make the workshop, I'm available for consultation. I plan to do some webinars and some teleconferences, and the book is available at barnesandnoble.com or Amazon.com. It's only $14.99.
So those of you on Facebook Live,
Yay,
there you go.
whoop, whoop.
Maria,
Hey
hi.
now.
Amanda,
That's
hi.
right.
Hey
it's
now.
the brand beside the brand, and it is the Miss Jazzy Rita Shelby. You can call her or book me at RitaShelby.com, or you can call me, or you can go to
Or you can send me a message on Facebook. I'll get it.
On Facebook, you're at Rita.
Rita Shelby is my Facebook name, and then there is a Facebook page, the brand beside the brand. You can like that page, but it's, hey, when Hollywood said no, or I'm not sure, or maybe we'll get back at you, I said yes to me, and this is also about showing you how to say yes to you. Perfect if you have not, stepped out to kind of stick your toe in the pond. Perfect for you. Perfect if you're already out there, or it could be a confirmation that you're already on the right track. But if there is money out there, my motto is I leave no money on the table. Okay, but this is about you. Truly a safe place to bring your truth, to bring your ideas, to bring your thoughts, and really step from behind and stand beside. We cannot afford to stand behind anything or anyone anymore.
Right, I think so. And by you being in the entertainment industry, because I think that's one industry where everything is out on the table, and you have to develop a thicker skin, because the denials come probably more than the approvals and the yeses. And it seems like you could be the flavor this year, and you could not be the flavor next year. So you're always trying to reinvent yourself to fit the roles, right? Mm-hmm. And so you would be the best person to relate this information to someone, because you've lived it differently than, say, myself or Gilbert or anyone else out there. So, guys, $75. I might even give up a morning of tennis and check this out myself.
And they get it for $50.
And
get
for
it
$50?
For $50 listening to the show today, and the
go.
book is free.
Okay, so I might meet you out there. And actually an area that could be a target market for you, there are a lot of C-suite women executives that are retiring, and a lot of them are starting their second act. Oh. And I've encountered a number of them transforming from C-suite corporate employee to independent entrepreneur is a tough road for them. Oh, yeah. So that might be an area you might want to reach out to, maybe do it when you do a search on Facebook, is that C-suite retire. And a lot of them right now is huge. So many of them have left, and most of them have become coaches. Executive coaches, executive level coaches, that's what they know best, right? Or HR or something of that nature. But it's a different path. Yeah. Because all the resources are there when you work in corporate America. Yes. You just pick up the phone, tell your secretary, whatever.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
But when you're an entrepreneur, you're pulling it out of everywhere. You're wearing all the hats, and they get overwhelmed. So I have a friend of mine that actually, I think for Christmas, I'm going to gift her with your workshop, because
thank you.
She's got a lot of stuff going on right now. She's an amazing woman. She was one of the first Black, she's usually on the Facebook. Jovita, I don't know if you're there. She was one of the first Black aerospace engineers. Unbeknownst to her about the new movie coming out.
Yes.
She said in all the years as an engineer, she had never heard about those ladies. Oh, she has always been the only Black woman. Mm-hmm. I was with a group of women. I'm part of a group called the Bella Network. It's new, just launched in October. There are 20 of us that are coaches, and we had a retreat in Long Beach, and it was actually very powerful. Wonderful. I mean, there was chemists. One lady was a chemist, has 4 patents with Mattel. She was the only Black woman who worked at Mattel. So I definitely would love to introduce you to them. I think that would be a great platform for you as well. There's some stars there. There's some hidden stars who have become so humble that they figure whatever they did in the corporate world doesn't apply to what they're doing now. And so them learning how to
bridging the gap.
Yeah.
And may I just say this, to set you at ease, this is about sincerity and finding your authentic voice and your authentic way. I said earlier, I recognize, everybody may not have a big and bold, personality. If you're shy and you're not really sure, I'm not going to turn you into like Beyonce, who turns up like that. But whatever is unique to who you are and how it can be presented, because I'm guilty. Back in the 80s and the 90s, I didn't have to sell myself. My work spoke for itself, or I was only, within 6 degrees of separation from my next opportunity. I just did not have to. My hand has been forced because I want to survive.
Okay.
And the gold, the pot of gold at the end of all this, again, is the joy. Right. One of my clients ran many companies. But I can tout the joy of him seeing his first retractable banner for a new product in today's world. The joy in logging on and seeing his first personally branded website coming to life. And by the way, if you did great things in corporate America, if it's not digitally documented, it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. So being able to show people how to bring your truth into who you are, this is what I am able to help you to do. And it's a joy. So I can't say it enough. So I hope to see as many of you as possible. Actually, I won't see that many of you on January the 14th because there's only a few slots
so many
left.
So I would definitely like to get one.
There's less than 10
Okay.
left for January the 14th, but I will be doing them in the coming months. And if there is no seat for you there, I would love to consult with you personally, and let's just get it going. We gotta feel good about who we are. We've got to find whoever represents our values. Mm-hmm. We got to work with them. We got to wrap our arms around them. We've got to light a fire under each other to get through these days ahead.
Yes, I am. So can you reserve 2 of those seats? I'm going to gift them to a couple of people that I think would definitely benefit greatly from being there.
And I thank you so much.
So before we leave, I'm gonna book me.
All right, book me. See, I used to be scared. I'm not ashamed. Now write it down, text it, get out your little iPhone, get your notepads, use those fancy tablets, and even with the email address, it leaves nothing to the imagination. Book me at LaritaShelby.com. There you go.
There we go. So I'm gonna make sure I them, and I'd love to introduce you to Alicia Matson White, who is the founder of the Bella Network. I think you would be a wonderful addition to that. And her actual goal is for us to create our own corporation of women coaches and motivational speakers, and go out on a national, international, and 20 amazing, powerful, talented women going out there helping small business owners and people become the better them.
Okay.
So I'd love to.
Did I answer all your questions? Thank you so much for that.
You did. It's just amazing. Your journey is phenomenal. And I've said this in my workshop all the time, that mastery is a journey that is continuous, and you always have to keep practicing. That's what mastery is. You have exemplified that. Your mastery is phenomenal. You've been practicing, and now you've got the result. You've got the results right here, and you've got the results in a lot of the other things that you do. So we truly appreciate having you here. We've got 9 minutes to check out time. So this is the time where Crystal and I do our little house duty here at the zone. So we truly appreciate. And after this show, we're going to be talking because Crystal and I, we were talking about how we might be able to team up with you to do some branding for the Business Zone.
Wonderful.
So
Wonderful. And
yeah.
I'd like to come back some months later as a result of this show
Oh, yes.
to bring some success stories.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
I'm having a ball,
yes.
but this is just not
That
all
would be-
about me.
Yes, yes.
I want to have somebody sit here
That's what
and
I'm
then
talking
tell their
about.
story.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
fantastic.
That's what
We
I'm
would
talking about.
absolutely love that.
Yes.
We would love
This
that.
was phenomenal.
And
so,
it-
Crystal, got anything coming up?
Actually, it's kind of down. I'm at the year end, so everybody I know is piling me up with their year end financial
Oh, my Lord.
stuff. And
So you're going to be out of touch for another 3 months or so. Until
well,
tax
actually,
time.
this is they're piling in now until I get ready to go back to Mount Sac, which will be in February.
Oh, my
So I got
Lord.
to squish everything in the next 6 weeks.
I forgot she does taxes. I forgot.
All right.
forgot.
That's great. Great.
So,
Well, actually, the bookkeeping part of it, I don't like the tax part. I do the bookkeeping, and then
Okay.
I refer it to colleagues that
Okay.
are. I believe in sharing the wealth.
share the wealth. Hand it over to
I don't
another
need to be doing
consultant.
everything.
Do all that
But I
stuff.
will tell you, I've identified 3-4 people that I'm going to train
Yeah.
as bookkeepers.
Oh, okay.
For
Very good.
us,
Very
and
good.
actually, and then Sharon Evans is going to target some funds for
Excellent.
that.
Excellent.
So that's going on.
Good.
What else is going on? The holiday. I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. My nephew came home from Houston. He's in his master's program in the University of Houston.
All right.
He is
Excellent.
majoring in sports management and business administration. And so he's home. Actually, I want to do something a little different next week because it's Christmas Eve-ish, and I think we're doing a show.
Yo, speaking of that, Felicia, are we having a show on the 23rd, Friday, the 23rd? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I think
'cause
the one
wasn't
that's
sure.
up in the air is the 30th, right? No. Oh, so we can do show if that's what we want to do.
Okay. So, yes.
Although I'm doing a burning bowl on New Year's Eve.
Oh, yeah?
I'm setting my goals and a group of my friends. We go out to the beach and we throw out whatever we didn't want to be carried over into the new year.
Oh.
We're going to sit together and commune together and put out positive affirmations and sit at Dock Weiler Beach.
That's
and,
amazing.
throw them and then set our goals for the 2017, burn those in the bowl, pray.
That's amazing because I kind of do something like that, not as extravagant as that.
Well, I'm an extravagant person.
I know you are. But what I do, people who I call my friends at the end of every year, I assess the relationship and I see if I want to still call them friends.
Well,
Or if I
okay.
want to kick them to the curb. I do the same thing with my clients. There are clients, and I said this in my workshop many a times. There are clients out there who will occupy 80% of your time. You want to flip that script.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want them to occupy only 20% of your time. Because once they occupy 80%, you don't have time for anyone else. So those are the clients I'm looking at to see, okay, which ones are occupying 80% and are not being productive. So those I'm going to kick to the curb as well.
Okay.
So I do that every year as well.
Okay, so that's your clean.
That's my house cleaning. Now, Felicia, July 7th is going to be a very special day for you and the Business Zone. What do you think that is?
The year anniversary.
1 year anniversary.
Oh, wait a minute. That's the year that's the month I'm going to the Power Network at George.
No, you can't go. You got to stay here.
Oh, I got to be there for
She
that
can
one.
Facebook Live or Skype.
Okay, you got to.
Yeah, I'll Skype in from the George. That's the powerhouse,
Well-
the 1,500 black folks that are like me.
Well, the anniversary is very special because we're gonna do a field event. So we're not gonna do it in the studio. We're doing it live out in the community somewhere.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what we're planning. So we're gonna have to figure out how, because you gotta be here.
I can't be. I'm already signed up. I'm already registered. But that's the day after, because that's the week after 4th of July. Anyway.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can have Larita fill in.
Oh.
Maybe.
Twist her arm.
Oh, what time shall I be here? Glad you asked.
Maybe there we go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe there, and we can lead up to it. We don't have to have a one. We can lead up to it and
That's
take
what
it
I'm
through the whole
talking
entire
about.
month.
Okay.
That I would be honored. I would be honored.
I am not worthy to sit in your seat. I will sit over here.
But
we definitely want to have that 1 year anniversary, and it's going to be like a live show in the community. Invite mayors, economic development organizers, coordinators, all of those, banks, all of those. That's how we want to do it, because we want them to really see what the Business Zone is about. And just so audience, just so you forgot what the Business Zone is about, the Business Zone is a platform where small businesses and entrepreneurs come together with supplier diversity contract providers to match up opportunities. So the contract providers provide opportunities for the small businesses, and the Business Zone, we get you guys ready for those opportunities. So that's what the Business Zone is all about.
yeah, that's exactly
That's
what
what
it's
we're
about.
all about.
Awesome.
So when we do our 1 year anniversary, we want to have a show. We want to have a show out in the field. So Felicia, all your massive equipment and everything, we're going to need all of that.
Well, hopefully we'll have a whole remote broadcast kit that
Yes,
can,
yes.
because this stuff ain't going on.
Okay, well, just bring your daddy. Her daddy, all her father needs is 2 soup cans.
Yes, exactly.
And we will be on the air. Johnny Morris, I love you. Everybody
you.
knows. Click like.
And me and Larita go back to Lee Bailey. That's also my mentor.
Wow.
He actually gave me my first break in radio in
Wow.
1989.
Wow.
I don't know, what year did you start with Lee?
Oh, well, okay, you take me back. Mr. Bailey heard me on the air shortly after I started working for KGFJ, which was in the late 80s. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
and I met
we've been
you.
knowing each other about that.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
but I remember your daddy introducing me to you. So
Yes.
I love you, my sister. And I want to send a shout out to Cheryl Green, who's partnered with me on the brand Beside the Brand. Because of her, we'll have the lovely place in Hollywood.
Oh,
to have our event. So
fantastic.
thank you, Cheryl Green from NSN LA.
Oh, I might have to save 3 tickets then.
All righty then.
Because I might not want to miss that myself. Next week, what I want to do something a little special. My nephews and all their friends, they're all home from college.
Oh.
And some of them have started new jobs.
Oh.
You're like that cool auntie, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
That's the cool auntie.
My boys are my boys. So I told my nephew, I said, I think I want you guys to come on the show.
Yeah.
One of them's a new he's an engineer, and he's working in D.C. He went to Howard. Then my nephew's at university, and he's doing, I think it would be good for them.
Bring 'em in.
That's our millennials, our beginning.
Bring 'em
and
in.
so I think that's who we're going to have our show next. So it'll be
That's great.
4 young men.
We've had a few millennials on the show, so
Yeah.
we want to have more of them because we really want to get their perspective. Because adding that to the Business Zone is going to be phenomenal.
Oh, you missed you were one of your, I think you were in Modesto or San Francisco,
okay.
but I had the young man, 34 years old, that is the youngest Black hedge fund manager in the world.
Yes, you did send me that link, yes.
Reginald is off the chain. This boy is up here and talking about investments and bitcoins and investing in commodities. So I'm going to start doing a series of workshops, and you might want to be involved in this. Yeah. We're going to do a series of workshops around the city for young adults on investments and being the best that they can be and developing their lives and creating their entrepreneurial gene.
Yes,
in addition to, so we're going to go to a number of churches and have them pull in the young adults. So that'll be from the ages of 18 to 35. And Reginald, I mean, just a powerhouse. I'll send you over the video where he was on the show.
Perfect.
Great. I just met a young investor at the NSNLA Christmas party. So I put those two together.
Yeah.
That's because we'll need sponsors for all these wonderful shows and the tour. Yeah, bring in the young investors. I got you, Auntie.
That's where you come in. So,
because that's one of the goals for next year. We want to monetize the show.
So with that being said, we're at the top of the 5 o'clock moment, and we want to thank you all for watching. Again, Crystal.
I'm Crystal,
And I'm Gilbert Buchanan, a small business paramedic, and this is how we do it. Our special guest today was Miss Rita Shelby, and she was phenomenal as usual. So, as you know, the Business Zone is every Friday from 3 to 5.
And you can find us on our Facebook page. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube page, YouTube channel, so that we can start monetizing our show. And we also, so you can go to our website, the Business Zone with CrystalAndGilbert.com, and right there on the front page, you don't have to look far, you don't look hard, and just hit the red button that says subscribe.
That's right. And with that being said, we're out.
Have a great weekend.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.